in the crazy world that is 2020, I just want to say to you, cheers! You made it. Well done. Whole nother week. Love that for you. I feel like my standards are lowering by the week. Every week I'm like, you know what? If I just get to Friday, if I get to wine time, I'm gonna be really happy with myself. Which filter shall we go with? Cheers, lady. Cheers, LVR. Hi, Rimsia. Hi, Sabia. Hi, Audrey. Hi, Nessa. Hi, Trishy. How are you, darling? Shall I do this or shall I do... Oh, I can't get the filter. Hang on. Well, that's my fashion filter, or I could do sparkles. Oh, that's so epic. I feel like we're going to do... This is a new fashion filter. Hi, everyone. Hope you're all having a fabulous week. Hi, cheers, Adri. Thanks so much for hanging out with me live. Okay, so we've got a lot of things to dive into with Wine Time this week. There's lots of personal questions that have come up that people want to hear about. I've been doing a lot of podcasts this week. Hi, glorious mess, Trishy. I've been doing lots of podcasts this week, so there's a lot of new content out and about that I've never spoken to anyone about. So I've had a lot of people wanting to know more about that kind of thing, and I've been talking about it on. I've done a bunch of podcasts this week, which is really fun. So podcasting is one of the techniques that I teach in Amplify Your Impact, which teaches you how to get free publicity. So there is only 3 ways to grow your business. One way is through content marketing. One way is through paid advertising, but the best and the cheapest and the fastest way is through publicity, which is what I teach in Amplify, which is what Trishy's done. But you can also go and study a whole free masterclass. If you go to amber.courses, there's a 1-hour training program that teaches you how to do it. So go and check that out. But yeah, lots of fun podcasts this week, which has been good. I've decided that that's all that I want to do. I just want to sit around and like share my wisdom and share my genius all day. That's all I want to do. I don't want to do any of the building anymore. I'm sick of the building. Just want to do all of the sharing of the wisdom. I just logged onto my Facebook page and there's all this stuff about Burning Man. This time last year and this time this year, I was planning on going to Burning Man. Last year was my best burn ever, and I swore to myself that I would go every single year. That's what I said last year. I'm like, I'm going to go to every single Burning Man that ever exists ever. And then 2020. So that's the end of that. And I don't even know if there's ever going to be another Burning Man. That's how, like, think about it. How can there ever be 80,000 people from every corner of the globe together? Now that we've had that realization, let's get into the lesson. LVR said I look amazing. Thanks, LVR. I have a date right after this. So this is my date dress. I feel like it's very like demure, right? Which is what I want to be on dates. Obviously, I don't want to wear what I would normally wear on a date. So that's what I'm wearing from a date straight after this. It's with like an old friend. So that should be interesting. Should be good. Hi, White Label. Hi, El Imperio Mexico. Okay, let me know if there are questions whilst we're on live. Otherwise, I'm going to answer the questions that have come through previously. Oh, and is anyone else watching my show? So you know that I have a whole show happening on FYI, on an American network, and it's going to be streaming on an Australian network, coming to a streaming service near you very shortly. So we're going to be on that network. So when we come to the streaming service, I'm going to have like I'm going to have a launch party so we can all hang out together and watch it together, and we can do like Gogglebox where we like watch the show and talk about the show all at the same time. Hi, Rossi. I just showed my outfit. Ross, you can like tell me I'm going on a date straight after. So I feel like this is like date outfit, right? Like it's like demure. Is this what I should be wearing on a date? Let me know, Rossi. I think you want me to wear something else, but I think I should be wearing something like this because, you know, I don't want to give the wrong impression to the poor guy. What's up, Jeff Glenn? What's up, Super and Rhonda? Hi, Curious. Okay, cool. So, hi, JRG. Great to see you again. And the boots, no boots. I don't think I can wear those boots. Hi, Coco. I don't think I can wear those boots on a first date, even though he is an old friend. I feel like that would be, that's giving the wrong impression. So this week on the show, we saw me dating. So one of the storylines of the show is obviously setting up the business and the online business and everything, but then the personal storyline for me on the show is dating. So someone just said nice picture on the wall. I had a guy here the other week and he was like, it's like you live in a It's like you live in an art gallery. I'm like, that's the nicest thing anyone could ever say to me. So you can watch me dating on the show. So if you want to see someone who's really bad at dating, watch the show, because it's like really, well, it's uncomfortable for me. And yeah, I just like go on these dates with this guy. Okay, actually, let's give me your feedback on this. So on the show, the storyline was I was to go on a date with this guy. Oh, thanks, Ross. Ross said I look amazing. Thanks, Rossi. So on the show, and guys and girls chime in because I want to know, because they painted it on the show as though I'm like bad at dating, which I am, but they painted it as though I've been like sabotaging, right? So the storyline was I go on a first date with a guy. We have a nice date. We just have drinks. And then at the end of the first date, he's like, come over to my house tomorrow night. I want to cook you dinner. And I'm like, that's moving a little bit too fast for me, but thank you anyway. And so then it cuts to like storyline of Serena, like going like, you know, she's sabotaging another date, like another relationship, da da da. So what's your views on that? Like, I think that that's moving too fast. What do you guys think about like from drinks to next day going to the person's house? Although now that I think about it, I did that recently with a guy, and it was really good. But anyway, what does everyone else think about that? There was just like, there was no like great spark or great chemistry with the guy. It was just like, you know, we were just catching up so fast. I know. But then I was thinking EVR about, there was a guy that happened with recently and it didn't feel too fast. But anyway, Coco's saying too fast. Way too, okay, great. So on this show, they were all like, Amber's sabotaging. All right. Great. Now that we all have confirmation that I'm not sabotaging another relationship. Yeah, it's in your pants fast. Exactly. That's what that was all about. Correct. No chemistry, no house, says Ross. I love that. Yeah, totally. 100%. Wine, hi, Super and Runda. I don't even know if I can bother teaching this week. What do we want to talk about? Thanks, Coco. Okay, so coping. So a couple of the esoteric questions, which I'm happy to chat about. A Glorious Messler asked last week, you were explaining, oh my God, I just did a podcast and I spoke so slowly, like really so slowly, and it was good. Let's try that again. I'm drinking Chardonnay, Ella, and thank you, Super Runda. I agree that it is too fast. Glorious Mess asked, last week you were explaining how you rewire your mindset and I missed some of that. Can you please talk about it again? So how I rewire my mindset. So what I do whenever I have a negative mindset or a negative belief pattern or a thought around a particular topic, and the way that I identify that is if I look at a particular area of my life and I realize it's not what I want it to be. So at the moment I'm going deep on relationships and manifesting love and all that kind of thing, because that's what I want in my life. That's what's missing. So I am at the moment writing down all the things all the limiting beliefs that I have around that topic. So first of all, I wrote down all of the negative thoughts that I have about what I would lose or what would be bad if I got myself into a relationship. So, you know, would I lose a connection with my family? Would I lose my own freedom? Freedom is my biggest value in life. Like, why would I want to be in a relationship if I'm going to lose my freedom? You know, all the other fears that I have around being in connection. So that was the first thing that I did. Step one, when you're trying to rewire your brain, is write down all of the fears, all the things that you think you're going to go wrong with it, all the things that you think you're going to have to lose or give up, all the people that you're going to have to give up loving. Write all of that down is step one. Step number two, on a second column, you write down the positive reframe around that. So for instance, something that I've talked about was I thought that the person that I was, you know, I'm fearful of getting into a relationship because I think that they're going to not let me hang out with my family so much. And so my reframe around that was, the person who I get into a relationship with will be happy that I spend so much time with my family. They'll approve of that. So that was the positive reframe to that negative statement. So I do that for each of the statements that I've written down on the page. And then once I have the entire page of positive reframes, and you got to keep in mind that the brain or the subconscious works on semantics. So semantics means that you're basically saying the same thing in different ways. So I would say things like, the person I'm with will approve of me spending so much time with my family, or the person that I'm with will love that I spend so much time with my family, or the person that I'm with will want to spend time with my family too. So all of those kind of like things that mean the same, but they're semantics, they're said in different ways. So the subconscious really works on semantics. So once you've got all of your positive reframes, then you pick up your phone, you open the voice memos app on your phone. Hi, Dapper Her. And you, sorry guys. You open the voice memos app on your phone and you record all of those positive reframes into your voice memos app. So once you've got your voice memos app, then you have all the positive reframes in there, and then you just listen to that on repeat over and over again whenever you're doing anything. So whenever you're doing the dishes, walking the dog, driving in the car, anything like that. So that is how you rewire your brain. It's just something that you do on repeat. And what's going to happen is when you have that list, so say you have a list of 10 positive reframes that you've listened to, after a week of listening to them, 9 of them will feel true. So 9 of them you'll be like, yes, I do believe in that. Yes, that's exactly what I believe. But there'll still be one that is still a false statement that you'll be like, nah, I don't buy that. So then you just need to do more work around that one. So then you just drill down some more, you do some more affirmations around that one, you do some more positive reframes. Sorry, Super Aranda. So once you've got your voice memos app, you listen to it on repeat, and then you go back at the end of the week and you assess which of those statements are true and which of them are false. So if you have a list of 10, by the end of that first week, 5 of them will be true. So 5 of them you'll believe wholeheartedly. You'll be like, yes, I do believe. It's cutting in and out, everyone's saying. Sorry, guys. There's all of a sudden, everyone's decided to call me. Like literally, I haven't spoken to you in weeks. Why is everyone calling me at the same time? There we go. So once you re-listen over and over again, you find the ones that are true, and then you find the ones that are false. The ones that are false, you repeat over and over again, and you change the semantics of those ones that are still false at the end of the week. So basically all you're doing is just putting everything onto a voice memos app and repeating and repeating and repeating. Does that make sense? Cool. People are saying yes. Give me some hearts, give me some thumbs up, give me some love. Sorry if it's cutting in and out. Literally all of the people are calling me for some unknown reason. Stop calling. I do not want to talk to you. Let me know if there are any questions whilst we're live. Otherwise, I'm going to go to the ones that are pre-recorded. Oh, did you get that, Trishy? That was for you, my love. That was for you. Okay. Yes, thanks for the hearts. Give me the hearts. Oh my God, this gripper thing is not working for me this week. 1 second. Thanks for the hearts, you guys. I appreciate that. Okay, so LVR has asked coping strategies to deal with stress, especially during ISO life. So, I mean, I think dealing with stress, thanks Trishy. Trishy says I'm the bestest. I think, hi, Isa Crystal Fashion Fave, Ala 2 Rash, Super Air Randa has asked, so it improves our confidence. So the way that you improve confidence, you build confidence over time by taking small inspired action steps on the daily. So first of all, you try and figure out which area of your life you're lacking in confidence in. So are you lacking in confidence with speaking up? So that was a big thing of mine. I'm a super introvert, so I don't like speaking up. I don't like, when I was in the corporate world, I didn't like speaking up in meetings. So for me, it was a matter of not wanting my voice to be heard, right? And that was how I was raised. Like we didn't speak up. So that was a huge thing that I had to get over when I was trying to build my confidence, was the fear of being heard. So first of all, it's identifying where your fear manifests and what particular type of fear that you have that's lacking in you being able to feel confident. So it might be something to do with your appearance, or it might be something to do with it could be anything. There's thousands of things. So firstly, identifying what area of your life that you need to build confidence in, and then you go about building confidence in situations that have little to no significance. So for instance, when I was wanting to build confidence with being heard, I didn't start in the corporate environment. So I didn't start like putting my hand up in the day job and trying to be vocal. Instead, I started with being vocal in a safe environment, so in a thing that didn't matter. So for instance, if I was catching up with my brothers, I'd be like, hey, I'm going to choose where we're going to go, and I'm going to be the one that's going to start the conversation, and I'm going to be vocal in that environment. So you build confidence in situations that have little to no significance, and you repeat those actions over and over again. And it's that repetitive environment that builds the confidence over time. It's not something that you wake up and have one day. Like everyone thinks that we're going to wake up and feel confident, or we're going to wake up and, once we have that external thing, then we're going to feel confident. So once I get the job, or once I get the pay rise, or once I get the relationship, then I'll feel confident. But it's not how it works. Instead, you need to build the confidence over time, and then you'll manifest all the things that you want that will make you feel confident. Does that help, Super Aranda? Okay, so LVR has asked coping strategies to deal with stress. Oh man, this thing just keeps sliding off. Okay, how about I just hold it? There you go. Coping strategies to deal with stress, especially during ISO. So I feel like coping with stress is the same whether we're in ISO life or not. So Trishy says confidence is in the doing. You must take action and do it first, and confidence follows. Baby steps. Totally, Trishy. So dealing with stress. There are so many things that I can say about dealing with stress. First of all, you want to, again, identify what causes you stress. So stress is caused, by various different things, and not everyone experiences stress in the same way. So what stresses you probably doesn't stress me, and what stresses me probably doesn't stress you. So it's, if you're in a relationship and you're going, I'm so stressed out, this thing is causing me stress, your partner or those around you might be looking at you going like, really? Why? How could that make you stressful? But firstly, being aware that your particular kind of stress is going to be different from everyone else's. So not comparing yourself to how everyone else is, not looking at everyone else going, well, no one else is feeling stressed in ISO life, but I am, so there must be something wrong with me. So first of all, that will be the first thing that you do is identify what's causing the stress. And then, at this time, more than ever, I feel like it's eliminating any kind of low level stressor. So anything that's you would normally be able to put up with, right? So anything that you would normally be like, no, that person kind of annoys me, but that's cool, she can still stay in my life. Or like that, having that meeting is, drains me, but that's cool, I'll just keep doing it every week because, that's what I do. But I feel like in ISO life, because everything is so stressful, I feel like you need to eliminate all of those low-lying stresses so that when this big stress of isolation comes up, we're much more equipped to deal with it because we don't have all of this low-grade stress going on as well. So for starters, it's looking at every relationship in your life. If there's people around you, especially now, that are causing you stress, fuck them off. Like, I don't know why you'd be like, especially now, you got such a great excuse. I'd love to catch up, but we can't. Isolation. Sorry. I'd be immediately culling, major culls of any relationship from your life. That would be step one for me. Step two is looking at the things that you're putting into your system that are causing you stress. So alcohol is actually a stressor. Lack of sleep, the sort of foods that you're eating. Coffee is hugely stressful. Like, I know myself, if I have a coffee, I'm like, like 100 times an hour. So looking at what you're doing. Sorry, Instagram. I'm going to actually unplug this because I don't think we're going to make it. 1 second, Graham. Sorry, guys. Sorry. There we go. Let's try all that again. Okay, so removing any toxins, both physically, mentally, emotionally. Anyone in your life who is toxic, now is the time. You've got the best excuse to get rid of all those toxic humans, those energy vampires. Super Runner saying, I thought alcohol would help to forget things. Alcohol is a stressor. I don't think it's I don't think it helps with stress. I mean, it helps with stress on a Friday afternoon, I guess, but typically it's causing inflammation in the body, and inflammation is stress. Glorious Mess says stress is often fed by the feeling of uncertainty, creating small snippets of certain. Oh, I love that, Trishy. So Trishy said stress is fed by the feeling of uncertainty, which is what we're living in right now. We're all living in an extremely uncertain world. Can't say that. So, you know, if you're finding that if you're finding that the uncertainty is what's causing you stress, then create certainty in your life. So that would be what that would look like is finding pockets of certainty that you have control over, that you can create. That's what that would look like for you if that's what's causing you stress. For me, I thrive on uncertainty, so that's chill for me. But for a lot of people, that's not okay. So I guess that would be my advice for coping with stress during ISO. Ross has asked, how many coffees a day do you have? I kind of only have coffees on Monday these days. So Monday, that's my little treat for getting out of bed on a Monday. I get to have a coffee, and then the rest of the week I just do green juices, or I do chili cacao, which is almost as good as a coffee. It's like super like. And Trishy, no, it's probably not a good idea for you to have coffee. And then the number one thing is the freezing causing you stress right now? No, it's okay. This shit happens all the time. It's tech. It's gonna happen. I sent out an email this afternoon letting everyone know that, you know, the 30,000 people on my email list, I let them know that wine time is at 3 p.m. Wine time is not at 3 p.m. Wine time is at 4 p.m. Shit happens. What are you gonna do? That's the other thing. Like, don't stress the small stuff, you know, like shit happens all the time. I can't control this. There you go. That's the beauty of what you're trying to ask me. You cannot get stressed about things that you have no control over. I have no control over whether my internet's going to work or not. I have no control over the fact that I fucking mistyped the email and we sent out the wrong notification. I probably could have controlled that, but like, I'm not going to get worried about that. Like, I literally will not care about that. That's got not, you know, it's not going to have any impact on my life. I'm not going to waste a second getting upset about it. There are so many other things that, you know, are happening in my life. I don't need to worry about whether I send an email with the wrong time. Thanks to Gab for picking that one up. But, you know, don't sweat the small stuff is super important during ISO life, and understanding what matters and what doesn't. And most of what we're doing each day doesn't actually fucking matter, let's face it, unless you're a brain surgeon. And then the other thing is, again, I'm going to get back to this. The other thing is meditation. So meditation, especially when there's so much chaos and uncertainty and unwellness, lack of ease, lack of peace in the outside world. When there's so much of that externally, you need to create that environment for yourself internally. So for me, that looks like, at the moment, I'm meditating like 3 times a day at the moment. I'm like super big with my meditations. I'm doing a sound healing instead of a meditation. So sound healing is just sort of like that next level of, you know, creating this super calm, peaceful environment. So yeah, meditation is like the most important thing, and meditation is the root of all spirituality, all happiness, any you know, anything that you want to create in the world, you do from starting with meditation, because that's where you start controlling your inner critic. That's where you start having dominion over your mind. That's where you start being able to control your mind rather than having your mind control you. So meditation is just so powerful. And you know, if you don't know how to meditate, learn, go and download an app, sign up to Chopra Center's meditation challenge. That's how I first learned to meditate. Sam Harris has a really great app if you're a guy. All of my brothers do Sam Harris's app. How else could you meditate? YouTube videos. If you want a video, DM me and I'll send you the video that I'm currently meditating to. It's super, super beautiful. So yeah, that's all of my advice around dealing with stress during ISO life. But I'd love to hear how you're dealing with stress during ISO life. Let me know. And then releasing stress as well. So like exercising every day is super important if that's, you know, if that works for you to release stress. Like for me, I know even if I just do some yoga and movement and move my body, I release stress. So figuring out how you hold stress and learning how to release it. Let me know if there are any questions. Hey, Tasha Davis, one of my students. How are you, babes? Ivana over on Facebook, who was my buddy on Project Runway. Ivana has said, totally true. Can't wait to watch my show. Thanks, Ivana. And Brett over on Facebook has said, are you still working with the Adelaide guys? Oh, I don't know who you're talking about, Brett, but if you remind me, I will let you know. But, well, no, I'm not working with anyone in Adelaide, so no. Ross has asked, do people stress you out? Yeah. Yep. Not all people, and the people that are around me these days don't stress me out. But as a general rule, I find that I'm extremely sensitive to energy, and I'm extremely sensitive to other people. So I just have to be very careful with who I'm giving my energy to. And that's definitely people. You know, people have their own shit going on. So I just need to be careful. I'm super wary with who I give my time to. But luckily, all the people in my life, aside from the people that I'm related to and I can't get rid of, but everyone that I choose to have in my life are extremely give me energy. Calliope the stylist, one of my newbie styling students, has just said, I've got a 3-year-old that keeps me so busy I don't even have time to think about stressing. Well, avoidance, that's the other technique to not get stressed. Avoid. Let me know if there are any other questions also live on the call. There has been a bunch of personal questions come in. I don't know if I've had enough to drink to start answering them. There were questions that I answered on a podcast this week that people wanted to know about. Okay, Suha, one of my fashion students, Suha, has asked, can we have a folio with before and after styling pics, or must they be professional shots? So when I was first starting out as a personal stylist, I had a before and after shots of just my friends that I made in before photos and then styled them in beautiful after photos. And then I just took a photo on my iPhone and I put that on my website. And that was my entire brand. That was my entire business for the first 6 to 12 months of starting that business. And I was able to get work from just having that. So if you're wanting to do personal styling, that's exactly the kind of, that's exactly what you want in your folio if you're wanting to do personal styling. If you're wanting to do editorial styling or advertising styling, you will need professional shots, but there's so many photographers that are willing to build their folio with you. And I teach all of that in the editorial class that you have access to, Suha. So just go and study my editorial styling masterclass and you'll be able to get access to all of that. Ross has asked, how do you take confrontation? I'm actually terrible at confrontation. It really stresses me out. I'm really bad at confrontation. I don't like arguing. I don't like drama. I'm really bad at drama. Anything that's like even slightly dramatic, it's I find very, very draining. So yeah, anything that's draining, it exhausts me really quickly. So I have to be wary of, if I'm entering into those kind of relationships, that I need to like distance myself from them. Suha, does that answer your question? If not, I can ask another one. Chris Fitness has asked, hashtags are so hit and miss. I want to get my reach further. So hashtags are hit and miss, but you've answered yourself in your question there, Chris. So the hit part of the hashtag, so rather than just like trialing new hashtags all the time and trying to figure out what what is going to work and what isn't going to work, whenever you find a hashtag that's crushed it, then you need to keep a list of those hashtags, and then you'll eventually start getting a list that's really working for your type of content. So rather than just trying to come up with 30 new hashtags every time, you want to keep a record of the ones that are working for you, use more of them, use less of the ones that aren't working. And then, yeah, in terms of getting your reach further, again, it's just a matter of engaging with your existing audience. So DMing your existing followers, watching their stories, engaging with their content, all of that kind of thing. And you want to do that right before you're about to post. So as you're about to do a post, you jump on for 30 minutes and you DM, like, comment, and watch stories of everyone that follows you. Then you do your post. And then you stay on for another 20 minutes and you do the same thing, because then everyone in your audience is going to get a notification, like Chris Fitness has just commented, they're going to jump on. The first thing that they're going to see when they jump on is your post. That's how you're going to get your engagement skyrocketing. And when you get your engagement skyrocketing, then you can get onto the Explore tab. The other thing that I teach, which is current, totally relevant for what's happening right now, the thing that I teach in Influencer Nation, which is my Instagram marketing and influencer e-course, is you want to be, whenever Instagram drops a new whatever we're going to call it, a tool, whatever you want to use it, whatever you want to call it, you want to be the first one to use it. So for instance, we've just seen Reels are getting introduced. Have you seen when you open up your Explore tab, it's just the first like 9 squares is just one Reels of some fucking random doing some ridiculous thing that you've never seen, you would never have heard of them, you're not even interested in their content, but yet that's in your Explore tab. So why the fuck's that in your Explore tab? Because they're using Reels, and it's got a big Reels symbol in the bottom corner. So if I was trying to grow my reach, which I'm not, I don't really care, but like if I was, I would just be doing Reels 24/7. And you want to do that with every single new iteration of Instagram, every single thing that they put out that's new. You want to be first on it. You want to be using it, because think about it. They've spent millions of dollars, creating it and making it available to you. What they want is for people to implement it. And especially with Reels, because they're having a grab at TikTok, right? So they're going after the TikTok market. So if I were you, I'd be creating that TikTok type of content and I'd be putting it out on Reels. Give me some thumbs up, guys. That's fucking smart. Sorry, my internet turned. I wonder if you answer my question. If you can't answer it, that's totally fine. Sewing classes. Fashion work. I feel like you ask me about sewing classes every week. No, I don't have sewing classes that I can recommend aside from La Mode College. I don't think she teaches sewing, but if I was doing that, I would literally Google sewing classes and I would find someone like me who's someone who's done it, someone who's achieved, someone who has already been there, who's now teaching fashion styling classes, and I would just go and do their fashion. I would buy their online course. For sure, there's someone teaching it out there. 100% there has to be an online course about sewing classes. Calliope the stylist has asked, I got a beautiful larger woman. She's a hourglass winter. Can I dress her in large prints? Yes. So with an hourglass, what you want to be doing, so an hourglass is someone who has an equal proportion at the top as they do with their bottom half, and they have a smaller waist. So they go like this, like an hourglass, in like that, and then out like that. So I have an hourglass figure. So with an hourglass figure, you want to be accentuating the waistline. So that means you're always looking for things like this that go out and then they tuck in at the waist and then they go out again after the, like over the hips, right? So provided that you're following that shape, Calliope the stylist, yes, you could do prints. However, a larger print will make that person look larger. So for instance, this is sort of like, although it's a cutout, it's a small print. So if this was large, my whole areas would look larger. So I worry about putting a plus size person in a large print. I feel like you're better off putting them in a smaller print, which will minimize them. The other thing with the hourglass is that you kind of want to keep the color balance the same. If you put her in black up top and print down the bottom, she will end up looking more like a pear shape because she'll look larger at the bottom and smaller at the top, and vice versa. She'll end up looking like a strawberry if you put a large print up the top and a black skirt at the bottom. So if I was doing a plus size in prints who's an hourglass, I'd put her in a dress and I would make sure the print isn't too big. I'd go like medium to small on the print size. Does that make sense? Hi, Latasha Davis. Hi, B Lifestyle. Hi, Laura Dana 91. Just going to check if there are any other questions on Facey. Otherwise, we're going to keep going. Oh, Heather. Hi. I have a question regarding branding. If you're multi-passionate, do you just brand your name without description of what you do, or do you need like a line to describe what you do? So I tend to attract a lot of multi-passionate babes. I guess that's sort of what I am as well. What I've come to realize as someone who is multi-passionate, and I've got like a range of really diverse e-courses, I feel like it's easier to be known as the thing because if you're like the girl that teaches the thing, it's easier to sell and it's easier to refer people to you. So I do feel like it's easier to be singularly passionate. However, I appreciate that you're probably not, Heather, if you're attracted to me. So with branding, I feel like, what do I think about that? Yeah, maybe just going with your brand name. And I guess it depends on how diverse the things are that you're passionate about. Like, is there any way to blend the two into a creative name? So for instance, I have one of my students in Freedom Funnels, which is what you're in. She is a photographer and a fashion stylist, and she's making over women entrepreneurs and doing a branding package for female entrepreneurs. So she's like named herself something like create, like branding you or something like that, that kind of showcases everything that she does. So I guess I'd be trying to figure out if there's a way for you to showcase everything that you do in one particular name. If there's not, Heather, then yeah, just go after your personal name, so Heather Bruce. And then you could almost play on it these days because there are so many multi-passionate people out there. You could almost be like, you know, multi-passionate entrepreneur or whatever it is, and just sort of make fun of the fact that you're like all of the things. Let me know how that feels for you. Okay, let me know if there are any other questions whilst we're on live. Thanks for the hearts, you guys. The lighting over on Facebook is so brutal. Give a girl a filter, seriously. Oh, cool. Thanks, Tasha. I don't think I want to get into, there's a whole bunch of questions around like past relationships and dating and advice for dating and when I used to have cancer, there's people wanting to talk about that and all these questions. So I'm not going to answer those questions this week. I just don't know that I'm feeling it. I feel like I'm like a little vulnerable right now. Topic of wine. That's what I want to talk about. Now we're talking. Have you tried a Sophie Spritz? No. What is a Sophie Spritz? Someone has asked, why do you think you're so close with your brothers? Do you think there were any contributing factors when you were young that created that? Okay, so I have 3 brothers. Growing up, we weren't super close. So growing up, me and my older brother were besties. We were super tight. So we're 18 months apart, and we went through school together. We were very, very much the same. So we're both super good at math, super good at science. You know, I was smarter than him, and we just, you know, we kind of like were, you know, pegged against each other. And then there was a 3-year gap, and then the other 2 are the same. So the other 2 are very similar, and they were also not quite so academic, more creative, very into sports. So my younger brother was a Olympic swimmer, and then the brother below that was not into school at all. So he was like a pothead all the way through school, just smoked cones every day and didn't do any of the schools. Someone just said I'm flawless. Thank you. It's a filter. So when we were growing up, it was like us 2 and those 2. And funnily enough, so this is how it looks now. That's older brother, me, middle brother, Craigie. This guy and me, we hated each other in school. I fucking hated him. Like, oh my God. Everything that he did killed me. I just hated him so much. Like, even today, I still remember how much I hated him. This guy these days is my fucking ride or die. I love this guy so much. I can't even tell you the words that I have for this guy. And it's amazing that you know, that we were just, we didn't get along growing up. But me and this guy, my older brother, we were like besties growing up. We did everything together. He's an engineer as well, so we went to engineering together. And yeah, we were just like best friends all the way. He left Australia, and he left Australia. So he went to France for like 10 years, and then he moved to Spain for, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. And then he only just got back. He only just got back 8 years ago. And so he's been living in Australia around the corner from me, like literally around the corner for the last 8 years. Oh my God, Dan Brophy, I need to talk to you. Dan, Are you having like all of the Burning Man memories? Dan is an old friend of mine from Melbourne. We ran into each other on the playa at Burning Man, heading home from was it last year's? No, it was a couple of years ago, Burning Man, and we reconnected then. And now Dan's doing all this amazing stuff. He's great to follow, guys. If you want someone interesting to follow, go and follow Dan. He's super hot, super charismatic, puts out really great content. So anyway, back to the brother story. So that brother is now, so he's been living around the corner from me. He's now produced a nephew who's like my favorite person in the whole world, and those guys are leaving in about 4 weeks from now to leave again. They're going back to Europe to live again, and my heart is not prepared for the level of heartbreak that's going to ensue. Having my older brother leave again, and then my nephew, it's going to be really, 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 really bad. Okay, so was that the question about the brothers? So why do you think you're so close to your brothers? Okay, so I actually, this is going to sound egotistical, but I actually take a lot of credit for the fact that we're so close these days. So so this guy was living in Sydney already. He was living in Darlinghurst. I moved to Bondi. Then this guy moved to Bondi. And then this guy was still living up in Bondi, in Brisbane. So then he moved down to Bondi, Rose Bay. So then we're all living like Rose Bay, Darlinghurst, Bondi. That's where we're all living. And then I just was like, every week I was like, I miss you guys. I want to see you. And so every week I was just like, come to my house. Let's have drinks. Let's catch up. Let's go to dinner. And so me being the female, like I'm a big catalyst of like, I'm constantly arranging catch ups with the family. I'm constantly being like, let's all get together. And it wasn't like this when we first all moved in. Like we weren't all just casually hanging out and popping over all the time, but it's certainly gotten to be like that later in life. Like like these days, that's certainly how it is. Like, we hang out all the time and they're like my best friends, but it wasn't always like that. And I think I take a lot of credit for being the catalyst for making that happen. So if you're wondering about whether you can be that catalyst for your own family, then yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know if we could have done it 10 years ago even. I'm not sure if we were those sort of people even 10 years ago, but these days, like, we're so similar and we're so, we're just like really similar, all four of us. So it's just fun, and we like to do the same things. So like, it's fun hanging out. It's like hanging out with three people who are almost identical to you that love doing the same thing that you do and love, find the same things funny as you do and find, everything the same. Like we're very, very similar. So, so yeah, it's fun hanging out with like three people who are like you, I guess. Let me know if there are any other questions. What was the other question on that? Do you think there are any contributing factors? Do I think there are any other contributing factors when we were young? I think we have a mutual disrespect for the parents. No, our mum is also a big, like, every Christmas we would always get together. She would make, she's a meddler, so she's always in all of our lives, making sure that she knows what's going on. So she keeps everyone up to date with what everyone else is doing. She's a gossiper, so everyone has to know about everyone else through Claire. So she's probably been a big help as well in keeping us all together. I feel like this is gonna wrap things up. Let me know if there are any other questions whilst anyone else is on live. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap it up. And I am going to go and get ready for my date. Wish me luck. Thank God it's the weekend, right? Okay, I feel like that's it. No more questions. All right. If you're looking for something to listen to on the weekend, I've done a bunch of podcasts this week. So if you go up to my profile, there's like 5 podcasts that are live that you can listen to that are really, really good. There's lots of juicy content on there that I've never really shared before that I will hopefully have the courage to start sharing on here. And if you go to amber.courses, there's a whole bunch of free hour-long training programs that you can sign into and do an hour-long training on some of the stuff that we talk about. So there's how to be a fashion stylist, there is how to like personal branding and publicity, there is influencer marketing and Instagram growth, and there is how to build an e-course and funnels. And there's a mindset course as well, how to be unfuckable. So definitely go to amber.courses and check it out. My pre-sale on my book is coming soon, hopefully very soon, so you guys can start enjoying the book, which is super exciting. And yeah, have a fantastic weekend. I'm going to wrap things up. So thanks so much for hanging out with me live. Talia and AP Good and Danny V. Bond and Rohit and Calliope the stylist and all good Calliope and Mayor Ayers and oh, thanks Talia, said I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you hanging out live. Oh, hey, Tasha Davis. Thanks for hanging out, babes. Great to connect, and I hope that this has helped